Hi, my name's Mike Fair. I'm an engineer and an erstwhile guitarist. Two fun facts about me. This is not my first instrument. I'm a sax player by nature. And second of all, this is 50% of the t-shirts that I own, which is why you see me wear it all the time. Okay, so that's kind of a lie. Anyway, the reason I'm here for this video is I was inspired by the hashtag #GiveIt100 campaign online that I've seen. And in particular, there's a young guy that learned to sweep pick over the course of 100 days. This isn't the first time that I'd seen something like this before, but I decided that after 15 years I should try to add that to my repertoire, as if I don't have enough on my plate. So I'm going to document and chronicle my series of trying to learn sweep picking on this guitar. Actually, really any guitar, but I just want to learn the technique. For starters, this is I picked an exercise that I found online by the guitarist Michelangelo Batio, who is apparently one of the world's foremost speed freaks, if not the fastest guitar player. And I tried to adapt what I saw on YouTube, and I'm going to probably work on this until I get sick of it, and then I'm going to work on it some more. Anyway, my goal is to every day practice this just a little bit, just a few minutes a day, because I have a horrible habit of doing what are called marathon practice sessions, and that's basically where I don't play for a few days and then I play for a couple of hours, and while that's fun, that's not nearly as effective as actually playing it for a little bit every day. So with that said, one of the things I want to try to do is, all life circumstances notwithstanding, I'm going to try to practice 100 days in a row where I work on sweep picking. So, a few notes before we get started. This is my Ibanez 7-string J Custom, which is my favorite of my guitars. I have it going into a Mesa Boogie Mark V, which is a finicky beast to say the least. And that's basically it. I'm not using any pedals except an EP exotic booster, and that's the signal chain. I can make no guarantees as to how this is going to turn out. So bear with me for 100 days of me learning how to sweep pick. Okay, here we go. You see how this is going to go, right? Before I go any further, I should give you a little bit of a background or an explanation as to what this is. Sweep picking is basically where you're sweeping the strings, or sometimes called a rake, as opposed to a normal, when you play, you alternate pick across the strings. The idea here is that the pick should just glide, so you won't be able to hear this, but basically, and then go the other way. And you can have all sorts of patterns and arpeggiations that would lend itself well to sweep picking. I just happen to pick this particular A minor pattern that Michelangelo Batio put together. So I'm going to work on that one. But basically, the goal is, it's a different technique than mostly when you do alternate picking between strings. But I am going to try. It's down and up. So all the real hard work is here on the finger side. If you can forget about the picking hand, this is where the challenge comes in. So here we go, once again. So there's two parts to this pattern. There's the ascending pattern that I'm working on, and then there's the descending pattern, which comes next. For right now, I just want to try to clean up the ascending pattern a little bit and then come back down. And the idea is to play the whole ascending pattern all the way up with just the downstroke. So I'm just trying to keep the pick moving right along here along the strings, and then I'm going to try to bring it back for the descending part. Obviously, you don't have to play it this way, but there's a certain geometry to the electric guitar, and all guitars really, where that kind of forces it to be the case. You have to go down and up, and the pitches of the notes follow the direction that you're going, because otherwise it would be ridiculous and you'd be some other type of alien that can play way better than me. All right, here we go, once again. just a word on this if you're not familiar with this. Obviously, an upstroke, or rather a downstroke, is when your hand literally goes down toward the floor, if that's the way you're playing guitar. And an upstroke is just coming back up. So the goal is on the sweeps, when we're going through the ascending pattern, I'm just doing downstroke all the way through. So I'm just going to basically drag my pick along the strings, and then we come back down the pattern, it's drag it the other way. Now it's a little bit awkward, and I can tell that already. This is the very first time I've ever tried to do this before. Hopefully after 100 days, this will show some improvement. And it's been said by Mr. Badio in his video that he sat once in a practice session and he played that pattern 1,000 times in one sitting. So I don't know that I have that kind of time to spare with a full-time job and everything, but I'm going to give it a whirl. And let's just call that day one of Give It 100.